None of the people living inside Washington's Venezuelan embassy since April are Venezuelan officials or even Venezuelan. They're members of an American leftist group called Code Pink, and they moved in after the diplomats of President Nicolas Maduro moved out.
For about 4 weeks now, we have been living inside the Venezuelan embassy as guests of the legitimate Venezuelan government, the only legitimate government of Venezuela, the Maduro administration.
Code Pink says the rise of opposition leader Juan Guaido, who has declared himself interim president, is the result of a U.S.-led coup. That's an accusation these pro-Guaido Venezuelans strongly reject. They say Maduro's 2018 election victory is in dispute, and Guaido, as leader of the National Assembly, is the rightful president.
I would love for them to read the Venezuelan Constitution, starting from that end. This is definitely not a U.S. coup.
To emphasize that point, the Venezuelan counterprotesters have surrounded the embassy, trying to pressure those barricaded inside to leave. At times, the tension has escalated into skirmishes.
They don't even know where Venezuela is because none of them have this. This is my Venezuelan ID. I'm Venezuelan.
The United States recognizes Juan Guaido as Venezuela's president. The State Department says anyone inside the embassy without authorization is a trespasser. But the Vienna Convention bars U.S. police forces from entering to physically remove anyone, and thus the standoff. The protesters locked inside, Guaido's newly dispatched diplomats locked out. Guaido's newly appointed ambassador to the U.S. can only stand outside the embassy door. Guaido's self-declared government in waiting has been shut out of the United Nations as well. Along with Russia and China, the UN continues to recognize Maduro as Venezuela's president. Meanwhile, 65 countries support Guaido.
He should be able to do what he's been doing as a president, and he's being recognized by the major democracies in the world.
But while there's disagreement in Venezuela, there will continue to be disagreement abroad. The standoff at the Washington embassy, a proxy for that battle. Heidi Zhou-Castro, Al Jazeera, Washington.